Welcome to CMU Public Television again for another edition of Ask the DNR. Tonight we'll have guests here that can answer your questions, but we need you to go to the phones, make those calls right now, so we've got plenty of questions to ask them. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Ask the DNR. We do this twice a year. We do this in April and we do this in October, and it's because Central Michigan University Public Television takes their outdoor audience members very, very seriously. We need you to call in your questions tonight. We have on hand, Mark Tonello is here, right in the center over here. Mark Tonello is a fisheries biologist out of Cadillac and an all-around good guy. And of course, we have Dean Molnar, Conservation Officer Dean Molnar, Assistant Chief of the whole outfit, good friend, and we'll see a little bit more of him in the middle of the show. And Dr. Russ Mason is here. I know you like me to go light on the doctor part, but he is just a very, very good wildlife biologist and the chief of the Wildlife Division of the Department of Natural Resources. But I'd like to introduce you to the folks that will be taking your questions when you call them in tonight. And over here would be my left, we have Dave Hopp, who answers the phone and is the receptionist at the DNR office in Cadillac. Sue Sabisky, who works there at the DNR office. Wave to us, Sue, okay? And Jordan Drock is here. Jordan's a wildlife biologist for DNR. And of course, we have Derek Tonello, who is busy. Is he doing his homework or is he writing down a question? Oh, he'll be writing down a question soon. But Mark Tonello's son, Derek Tonello, who has done this for several years now. So good to see you all. Please call in your questions. Dave Hopp was good enough to comprise a list of questions that come to the DNR almost daily, and so we'll just buzz through those real quick, okay? First of all, can I still buy a spring turkey hunting license for $234?
Absolutely, you can. You can buy it right up to the very first day of the season, but don't procrastinate. Get out there and get it.
Get out there and get in, buy your license, okay? Talk, Dean, a little bit about RAP Hotline rewards. There is a reward system if you call in a really good tip for RAP, correct?
Absolutely, Bob. For anything, as far as fishing games, things like that, we do offer rewards. We can even do it anonymously, but we'd like to have the folks, the more that they participate and help us and give us information, sometimes the awards get bigger for that. But absolutely, we'd love to have folks call in those tips, and there are reward money.
Good. And those tips are really how you guys operate a lot. Sure. Bob, the public's eyes are far greater than 150 conservation officers.
Absolutely. Some of the best cases that our guys make are from tips that folks call in. So, keep those tips coming because, those folks out there are hunters and anglers. They're our eyes and ears for us. If they call us in, I said we can make some great cases off it.
Cool. How will the rain and flooding affect the steelhead run in Mark Tonello? And let's throw another question in with that. How will the amount of ice affect this year's fish populations?
Sure. Well, a couple different things there. So all the rain we've had, that will definitely bring all the steelhead up the rivers now. They hadn't been running real well before all that because it had been so cold. So they all should be running now. They'll be able to spawn pretty good. They'll get up into a lot of the headwater streams and be able to spawn up there. So I'm not anticipating any trouble with the steelhead run. What all the water will do is it'll make fishing for them more difficult because there's so much water, to deal with. As far as the ice goes, it depends on the lake, but the lakes that will probably be more affected by the prolonged winter we had and all the snow and ice would be shallow, weedy lakes. And in some of those lakes, we'll have oxygen deprivation in there towards the end of winter, and that can cause winter kill. Typically, even when you see winter kill, it's not a complete kill. So it would be very rare for all the fish to die in a lake. Usually it's in some local areas of the lake. So usually even in a winter kill situation, that lake can recover within a year or two as long as you get some good spawning conditions.
And every year there is winter kill.
That's correct. This year it'll probably be worse in some lakes because of the harsh winter we had.
Hey, Russ, I got a buddy of mine called in this question from Harrietta. You know, he was concerned that in that late season, that December season, knows of some people that, and he's in an area where there's APRs, the antler point restriction, that some people shot for some deer for does that were the bucks that had already lost their antlers. Is that taken into consideration somehow when you look at numbers and?
Yeah, we look at all of that stuff. We don't think that that's a particular concern one way or another. The whole idea of that antler point restriction is just to graduate more animals into that 2.5-year-old age class, just to provide a little bit more quality. And there's some leak around the edges, but it's not significant. We look at that as well.
Okay, and Russ, the other thing too is, before I buy any licenses, sure, I've got to buy a hunting license. I've got to buy a small game license. Actually, that's your entry into the licensing system. The licensing system is very, very different than how it has been in the last few years.
Well, it's a lot simpler. We went from 200 something to around 40 licenses to make things easier for folks to understand. You got to get that base license, but the base license provides you all kinds of upland hunting opportunities. And guys will say, "Well, I don't do that." My response is to that, well, try, have a good time, get out there and do something other than just hunt deer.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of other things to hunt in this great old state of Michigan. And the next thing I need to know is new poaching law. You guys want to handle that? There's been a lot of publicity on new fines and penalties for Dean.
Right. It was kind of, when the legislature put it through, it's a trophy buck penalty section. Basically what it does, Bob, is any legal buck, the restitution was $1,000 on any deer. That still remains. So a doe is still going to be, or an antlerless deer is still going to be $1,000. Now with the new penalties we have, there's an additional $1,000 restitution on any legal buck. So now restitution is $2,000. On a legal buck from 1 to 7 points, there's an additional $500 per point. 8 and above, you start going $750 per point. There's additional loss of hunting privileges for additional 2 years. So now we're looking at year convicted plus 5 years. Second offense is loss of hunting license for additional 7 years. Now this is what the legislature put together to give us.
DNR did not do this. The legislature did this.
That's correct. The legislature gave this to us as a tool because there's a lot of folks out there that are trying to help protect the trophy class deer. But they really kind of got modeled down to the fact that they're protecting all of our bucks and really all of our deer. So we'll see how it goes for this year on this. Will be our first year that we had it, but there's some pretty steep fines and penalties on it now.
Maybe the object lesson is don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't poach. You know?
There is that.
Exactly.
Heck of a note. Hey, some folks Facebooked us and said they want to know, will a separate ORV license and trail permit be needed for each vehicle, or can a person just buy one license and buy separate permits for each? Well, you've got to actually put them on the machine, so that wouldn't work, would it?
Right, that's correct. You have to buy the new base license. Again, this is what the legislature, when they did the whole licensing package, this was part of the change, was the ORV licenses. It costs $26.25 for a ORV license. You know, that is to operate any place but private property. Private property, you still will need one. Operate any place other than a state trail system. If you want to operate on a state trail system, you need an additional $10 license, and both of those have to be affixed on the vehicle. So you can't buy one and then use the other one on multiple ones. It's same as the old park stickers. You had to take them off and stick them on your window.
And even now they've got to be attached, or they're on a license plate.
That's great. Yeah, the park stickers now, the P on your license plate.
Folks, do yourself a favor. Pay that extra 10, 11 bucks, whatever it is. It's ridiculously cheap. Enjoy these parks. They're pretty good.
And the other thing too, Bob, with that is you go online. You know, once you get your parks permit sticker, go online. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of vendors around the state that are offering discounts for folks that have that. So you can make up that $10, $11 in one transaction.
Yeah, one trip.
So it's a great value.
Yeah, one trip to Myers or wherever. Just saying, I'm not even. I'll bet you Myers does have a discount in there somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Hey, folks from Midland want to know when, and Russ, I'm going to toss both of these at you. Could you do a live broadcast of the elk draw? That would be pretty boring watching the computers work, wouldn't it?
It's kind of like watching grass grow.
Yeah, or a haircut. Yeah, without all the fun of shooting the bull.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, there really isn't. It isn't like they pull a name out of out of a hat or out of a barrel
It's
or
almost
anything like that.
instantaneous. I mean, it's bang, and we've got the list.
Yeah, all randomly generated from a computer. And Russ, when will there be a moose hunt?
Sometime, never. Moose are a game species in the state of Michigan, but we have an agreement with the tribes and with hunters and with non-hunters that we will look at certain criteria before we decide to have it. That has to do with population growth in moose, and that it has to happen in a year following a moose survey. So it's conceivable that we could have one in the next few years. Having said that, it's perfectly clear that we're at the edge of moose range. And moose are declining precipitously in the Dakotas and Minnesota. They're flat in Michigan, maybe declining, but they're flat here. So it's kind of a dicey proposition.
Yeah, you really want to know you're going to have a surplus to harvest when you set out to.
It is, and if we had one, it'd probably be no more than 10 or 12 tags.
And in fact, Russ, I was on the Natural Resources Commission when we did this. Folks from Lake County want to know, was starting the youth hunt to thin the doe population? No.
No, it was to provide additional opportunity to get kids outside and getting them to do things. It's important to realize that most Americans spend less than 60 minutes a day outside. I don't know how that's even possible. And we need to get kids out there doing things. Kids don't kill that many deer. It's like 5,000 in the States. It's not a big deal.
It was real possible to spend less than 60 minutes outside during this last winter. But I know what you're saying. Yeah, that was the whole deal. Was get them out there and get them out with an adult that cares and get them mentored. Lake Leelanau, dead ducks in the marina, how should they be disposed of?
Dead ducks in the marina?
Yep.
I would probably, you folks may want to know about that in wildlife, wouldn't you, Russ?
Well, there are a couple of things. Actually, we have suffered pretty significant die-off of ducks this year, divers. It's kind of interesting because clearly we look at all those ducks, and one of the things that we've noticed actually is that apparently they're picking up pretty high levels of selenium because they're feeding on zebra mussels, another unanticipated consequence of an invasive species, and another reason we ought to be thinking about those things as we move on. At this point, they're probably melted down pretty good. You can just net them out, and any landfill will take them, bag them, take them to a landfill, or put them in a trash receptacle, and that's fine too.
Okay. Okay. We've got another Facebook question. How can I save time to cut oak wilt, and how do I stop it from spreading? Is there a brochure or anything on oak wilt? Maybe Dave. Do you know anything about that, or can we maybe have him call Dave Hopp at the Cadillac office tomorrow, and he can probably find out?
Dave is nodding. I see him nodding. Yes, there is a brochure on that, and he deals with that question on a regular basis. So
call up to the Natural Resources office in Cadillac, 231-775.
775-9727.
9727, 775-9727. Ask for Dave Hopp, Sue Sabisky. They'll get you all set up with it. Folks from Prudenville up on Houghton Lake, please tell hunters to properly tag a deer or turkey. The digest says a tag cannot be wrapped around a leg or an antler. That true?
Well, what I think they're referring to, Bob, is a lot of times people just peel it off, then they wrap it around an antler, or they wrap the tag around the turkey's leg. You know, and I don't know if it's in there right now, but in the past year we've had, pictures of it. Open your tag up, lay a piece of string, in the center, fold it back up on it, and then tie that to the bird or the deer. Because if you wrap that stuff around, Wildlife Division can't use their scanners to be able to get the information on it, and our officers can't read it when it's all crunched around it. So put it on string, tie it on.
Yeah, it's got to be readable in some way, shape, or form. I would imagine that most officers would pretty well abide with the fact you got your tag on it, but please make it easy on those folks too.
Well, the big thing is for our Wildlife Division folks, especially on the deer, they take so many deer they're checking, they can scan that tag and be able to get that information.
You don't have to fill out every detail.
The point is, we need this isn't so much just to make trouble for people, it's because we need the information. So help us out.
Stop by the deer check stations. Yeah, you can learn a lot there too. Mark, from Mansalona, they want to know if you, we'll take that one next. I like this one for you, Mark. How long will there be a minnow certification? This is from Prescott.
Okay, that will end Actually, no. The minnow certification is done. You do not have to have the keep your receipts anymore when you're purchasing minnows. We're still working with minnow dealers and bait shops to make sure that the minnows that they're selling are disease-free, but it's not on the anglers anymore to keep their receipts.
Okay, Mansalona, here we go. Actually, 2 questions for Mansalona. Was the wolf hunt a success?
Yes.
I think it was.
Yes, you know, we had a number of things we wanted to do here. Again, it was a small number in areas where we'd had conflict. We used public hunting to address that conflict. We killed about half as many wolves as we had as a target, but getting to that number, that local population reduction, is just a piece of it. Putting the fear of people into wolves was another piece of this. We're looking at all of that stuff now and seeing if just some of the educational value of the hunt to wolves
and
is
folks, don't
important.
believe this garbage that they're trying to kill every wolf. That's not even remotely true. You're just trying to get them managed.
What we're doing is way below annual reproduction. We're just looking at very specific packs of wolves that have documented problems with livestock conflict or killing dogs. Just that simple.
Okay, okay. And another question from Mansalona. Geez, how did I do that one? Mansalona. If you find a deer or elk head with antlers attached, can you keep it?
No.
Well, it's parts of deer. Okay, if it's attached and the antlers are still on the skull, the answer, as Russ said, is no. The bigger question comes by, I find a shed in the woods, can I keep that? And if you really want to get technical about it, no, but shed hunting is a very popular sport. We encourage it. It's a great time to get out in the spring of the year. Maybe this year, if our snow up north ever melts, you can get out and go look for sheds. But if it's on the skull, no.
12 inches yesterday in Crystal Falls in the morning. Or this morning.
It's
What a
awful.
thing to wake up to, huh? Okay, netting on inland lakes. Folks from Hillman. So tribal netting told it was a joint effort with DNR. Can you explain how the tribes can net on inland lakes?
Well, this question could be addressed at a couple of different things. First of all, the tribes do assessment netting on inland lakes. Well, first of all, the courts have adjudicated basically that the tribes do have a right to hunt and fish inland. So as that, they do have a right to do some netting on inland lakes. And so to help manage fish populations on inland lakes, they also do fishery surveys. So they do have the right to be there.
Okay, and that's a legal right.
That is a legal
That's
right.
not DNR saying, okay, go ahead, boys, net, whatever. That is a legal right, okay?
That's correct.
Okay, deer herd, Traverse City for Russ. It's going through a severe winter, especially in the UP. What are you planning to do with a license increase to help out the deer?
All kinds of things. I can tell you what we've already done. We've got about $60,000 in the West UP on habitat grants out to small landowners. We are putting a substantial amount of money through our habitat grants out on the landscape in the northern lower and in the UP. In that case, it's about $725,000. We have done all kinds of stuff ourselves. We're working with Forest Resources. This winter, we don't agree with folks going out and supplementally feeding deer, but we did modify a lot of our timber contracts. In fact, close to 40 jobbers actually were leaving tops and trees down to feed deer. We've done a lot, and we intend to do more. And if you want to know, go and look at our Bang for the Buck sheet, which will be out there with every one of our 2013 annual reports.
Okay, yeah, that's the other thing. There were a lot of people that I talked to a conservation officer in the UP, and where people fed, and he was regularly going by and finding dead deer because they fed so close to a road that they killed more deer feeding them by the deer getting run over in the road and caused more problems. You have to be very careful when you feed deer. It's not just an automatic. It's
Well, not just that, but if their gut aren't set up for that corn you want to give them, you'll kill them with corn.
or alfalfa.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And hey, this one, I bet you I know who this comes from. Very beautiful lady in Marion. It's new license law. I'm sure Joan wants to know, is a base license required to hunt on a game bird hunting preserve?
No, that's been taken off now.
Okay, so if you're just a preserve hunter, you don't need to be licensed. However, if you're out there and you decide to shoot a rabbit or a squirrel or a grouse or woodcock, you better be licensed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and Russ, why are non-residents not allowed to try for leftover bear permits in Baraga County? That's the law, isn't it?
It's the law, and it's one of those things. Michigan does reserve the right for its residents in a few areas. This is one of them.
Okay. New grouse enhancement management system in the Upper Peninsula. Can you elaborate on that at all? This calls from Gaylord.
You bet. We're doing a lot, not just in the UP, but also in the northern lower, creating what we're calling these gem trails. Basically, they're enhanced areas where we do a lot of management specifically for grouse and
Walking
woodcock.
trails?
Walking trails, so anybody can use them, but they're also set up, many of them, so guys with disabilities can get out there and do things with our resources as the rest of us can.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep the questions coming in. Yeah, this is one of my favorite things to come here and host this, because the questions are always so good, and we've got the folks that can meaningfully, in a meaningful way, answer them. But right now, we're going to take a little break for just a couple-minute break, and we're going to go to a show at Destination Michigan. I think we did in February. Yep. It was January, February, and it's of course starring. It's a segment starring one of our old dear friends who's sitting right here, Conservation Officer Dean Molnar. So anyway, enjoy that for a couple of minutes, and we'll be right back with more of your questions. Keep them coming. Dean Molnar is what I call the original Boy Scout. That's not just a way to sum him up. Dean spent many of his growing up years in grayling, fishing the Ausable River, and hunting the river pockets for rabbits. He was one of the original Eagle Scouts from that area. And while he's a hunting and fishing buddy of mine, you have seen him on at least 30 editions of WCMU's Ask the DNR over the last decade and a half. And while he is the second highest ranking conservation officer in the state, I'd like you to get to know Dean the way I do. So we're venturing to his home on the Pine River, beautiful place it is too, and there's a warm wood fire burning, and we've got plenty to talk about. You know, you and I met, I was still doing the old Michigan Outdoors.
Yep.
And what year was it? You came down in
Well, I hired on in '89, went to the police academy in August of '89, hired on, got out of the police academy in November, and I started down in Clinton County in January of '90. I think it was that first fall.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah.
I think it was that first fall.
Yeah. Anyway, I called in a rap complaint and didn't get any answer to it. And somebody noticed it and sent you out, as I recall. There was a knock on the door, and that's the first time I laid eyes on you.
Yeah, that was interesting because as a field officer, you normally don't get called by the chief.
Yes. Really?
Herb Burns was our chief, who I still consider to be my chief because he was there for a long time and just
my friend,
phenomenal man. And he called up and said that, hey, you got a complaint that needs to be taken care of. Oh, okay, what is it? He told me, so that's when he sent me over to see you, and I thought, holy crap, and here's this guy that's on TV, you know, and all this and that. And I go like, well, okay, whatever, sure. It's January or so, the Christmas tree's still up, and I go like, oh, that's okay. I look on the back deck, and there's a trap thrower bolted to the
clay
back.
pigeon thrower. Cool.
Yep, and I thought, yeah, this guy's all right.
We made a lot of memories, but that's of course what the outdoors is all about.
Absolutely.
But the other thing that people don't know about you, Dean, that I think they should know too, is you put your money where your mouth is too. Ducks Unlimited, National Wild Turkey Federation, all those groups. You're head of the National Wild Turkey Federation chapter here in Cadillac, and that's extra stuff. Why do you do it?
For me, it's something that it's a lifestyle, and by getting involved in Ducks Unlimited or whitetails or turkeys or all that other things we're in, you're dealing with people that support you. Hunter education is just, those volunteers we have are just phenomenal to work with. And you associate with them because everybody's got a common goal. They want to protect the resource. You know, I've been very fortunate for my career that I get paid to do this. These folks volunteer their time to do it, you know, to raise money for conservation, to do projects or whatever they want to do. It's exhilarating to work with these people.
Yeah, we've been through a lot of different wars together and a heck of a lot of good times.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're through, when you call this career done, when you put in that final retirement notice, and to have a party or not have a party or however you want it done, we still got to be able to sit down, drink a cup of coffee, and shoot the breeze, and maybe get outdoors and enjoy this great old state of Michigan?
Bob, that's one of the advantages that I'm looking forward to, is that we're actually going to be able to do it more. That's what I certainly hope.
Me too.
I mean, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do and the officers I work with. It's going to be hard to walk away, but when I walk away, I'm going to need something to fill it in. So, I'm going to be looking forward to doing a lot more fishing, a lot more hunting, a lot more just getting outdoors.
And a little turkey calling.
And a little turkey calling. One of these days, I'm going to shoot one of those things.
Hey, we are back. I'll tell you what, Dean, I enjoyed that afternoon I spent with you. I've spent many afternoons with you, but that was particularly fun. Good to see, that folks got to see a not in uniform. Same quality guy that in uniform or in civvies. So
Yeah, that was enjoyable, Bob. I appreciate you guys doing that.
in fact, a question from Lake City, trespass law. What is needed to have a trespasser prosecuted?
Well, what we need a complaining witness. That means the landowner or their agent. They have to have the proper posting on the property, meaning you have to have 1 inch height, 50 inch square, at least on the signs. But you have to have a willing complainant is the big thing. Or you have to have told the person that they're not welcome on the property. The property, is posted private property. They can't come back on. And interestingly enough, another thing the legislature did this year, Bob, is change the trespass laws. They've actually enhanced them, so that the landowners can go back civilly on somebody if they do damage, up to $750 or the actual
Really?
cost to prosecute or damages. But then we have the first offense, which is like $250, I think, to $750, 90-day misdemeanor. But a second offense now is $500 to $1,500 plus loss of licenses. If you take game while you're trespassing, fish or game, that's another $250, I think, to $500. They're all misdemeanor violation, and they've enhanced them. And there's, more penalties. There's more loss of hunting privileges, and there's more fines that a landowner can come back on the person that's trespassing. Also, we can go now for reimbursement of the game that was taken.
Okay.
So they really put some teeth in the trespass laws. It's one of the big things that our officers work on a regular basis is protecting private property rights.
Now, does that recreational trespass, does that occur? Because typically, I'll get folks, back when I lived on a farm, folks would be in my right-of-way, thinking they had a right to apples or asparagus or anything, wild asparagus in my right-of-way. Does that recreational trespass?
That probably wouldn't be recreational trespass. That'd be criminal trespass.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and a lot of people are under the...
But you can't do that, right?
No, a lot of people are under the impression that, you got 33 feet either way from the center line on typically a county road. State truck lines are different. They're owned by the state. But you as a landowner, you own to that center line of that road.
Paying the taxes on it.
Exactly. And that is an easement for vehicular traffic, okay, or movement of people. It's not for stopping, picking the berries, picking the asparagus, or things like that. That belongs to the landowner.
Okay, that's part of the trespass stuff too. Folks from Barrington want to know about getting a permit to cut wood on state land. Completely possible.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there a $10 fee or something, or 50? I don't know.
There is a fee associated with it. You can stop in at any operational service centers, or I even think some of the field offices also give out the permits. If for a specific area, they pick an area that they want, and the permit is for a certain amount of wood that they want to cut. I forget the amount of regular cords that you can cut off. I think it's 5, but don't quote me on that. But it is a nominal fee. I think it's around $20.
Is it? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but they can go right to the DNR office.
Absolutely.
Call ahead. Okay.
Yep.
And folks, I don't know where they're from, but it's a universal question, actually. If I buy a combo license, can I still take a doe on it during the archery season? I think so, can't you?
This year, no. You
No?
will not be able to take a doe, an antlerless deer on a combo license this year. This is one of the changes that, at least if they're talking about the UP, I should say.
Okay.
That's one of those issues that we've looked at differently. You have to decide whether you want 1 or 2 deer, buck licenses. Down south, of course, you can just buy an antlerless license and go with it. Dean, do you have anything else you want to say about that?
Well, I think what they're saying, Russ, is on a combo license. If I buy a combo license, I go archery hunting, I can take a doe on that.
It's a good question.
No, I don't think that's been a
Hey,
change.
folks, we'll have that all straightened out by the time we're back in October. You know, this is what happens when you change the licensing system. License fees have not gone up in what, 17 years, was it? 16 or
about that,
17 years? Okay, but when you change the licensing system, sometime to make it simpler, because folks don't understand it, it takes a while to get all the bugs worked out and come to an understanding.
One of the changes that they're going to have to do is you're going to have to make the election when you purchase your licenses, whether you want 1 deer tag or 2 deer tags.
One buck tag or 2 buck tags.
Or 2
right
buck
out of the
tag.
gate.
Yeah.
But we'll get that straightened out.
Okay. Folks from Clare, did the fishing license fee go up? Mark, it actually did, because one license covers all now, right?
Well, it depends. If you had bought last year, if you bought the license that would allow you to get to catch trout, then it actually decreased down to $25 this year. Now, what we did away with was we no longer have the license, the non-trout license. So that one is gone. So then that would be an increase. So it's basically just one license for residents now. One annual license, $25.
Yep, no special fees to go fish salmon or whatever,
Right,
just
exactly.
one license.
Yep,
Okay,
simple.
kind of like the one-day license always was. You could fish anything
Yep.
on that. So, okay, 2 questions from Owasso, good friends from Owasso and Sheboygan. Let's put them all together for you, Russ. Are there any more cougars in the UP? Are there any in the Lower Peninsula? And are you still recognizing there was a cougar in the UP? Why don't you just handle that all at one time?
Okay, yeah, there are a bunch of cougars running around the UP. There are about 9 of them. They all ran into us from South Dakota, more or less. The Intermountain West population is higher than it's been any time in recorded history. Those animals are moving this way. They get caught in the UP and run around and run around and run around until they figure a way out, either by swimming across the St. Mary's or by walking down into Wisconsin. We don't have any evidence of cougars in the northern lower, in the lower peninsula. Not to say that one couldn't have walked across the ice, and not to say that one theoretically couldn't get here walking across Indiana and Illinois, except it's a really hard row.
Yep. But we're not getting any roadkills on them.
We did have a poaching incident this year
Right.
in the UP, first time, and people regularly pick them up every now and again, every month or so, pick up a cougar on a trail cam in the UP.
And this was a good example, Bob, of the wrap line, because we got a tip on that, and our officers did a phenomenal job. They tracked down all the leads on that, and we got conviction on 3 people for illegal killing of that cougar.
And that was another rap
Yeah.
hotline thing.
There's one other piece to this that's important. These are all young males. All young males looking for friends.
Right.
There are no females. We have no evidence of any breeding cougars either in the northern lower or in the UP.
What I tell people, some folks have, of course, they want to believe what they want to believe, but that they always argue DNR's trying to put a lid on this and hide it. And I said, geez, there'd be probably so much more money for research from the federal government if in fact we could find some breeding population.
Yeah, the eastern cougar is extinct. There is no such thing. These are just Intermountain West cougars that are taking a walk.
And they do that.
They do that.
Like the coyote that walked from Wisconsin to Missouri.
We had a cougar walk across from the Dakotas through Michigan, swam across the St. Mary's, walked across Ontario, swam across the St. Lawrence, walked across New York, and got hit outside of Hartford, Connecticut 2 years ago. They go on long walks.
Exactly. Okay. State police prosecuted a deer poacher, as these folks from East Tawas said. And why was the DNR not involved in that? Well, the state police can prosecute that.
Well, absolutely, Bob. And at times, typically what happens is, a conservation officer and a state trooper, we both have the same authority, same arrest authority. Typically, if they get into a poaching incident, they turn it over to us. If we get into some things, we turn it over to them. But, our guys are prosecuting, you name it, drunks, domestic assaults, you name it, our guys are prosecuting it also. But every now and then, a troop, if there's not a conservation officer available, will take it and run the prosecution on it.
Just like a conservation officer, if a troop's it needs backup, or a sheriff's deputy, and they haven't got something hot going, they'll go in and help them, because you guys are fully licensed peace officers.
Absolutely. And a lot of times too, our guys will run into a lot of illegal drugs. Because, they'll be checking fishermen, and fishermen will have it on, or hunters that will have it on. So our guys would handle that. We would prosecute for that also, instead of turning something over. So it kind of goes both ways. But we typically stay within the fish and game realm, because that's where our funding
Right.
comes from, majority of our funding comes from, and recreational use of boats, ORVs, snowmobiles, and things like that.
Yeah. Hey, question here. Can I hunt deer with a crossbow in Emmett County, that Petoskey Harbor Springs area, during the bear archery season?
Emmett County, that'd be Baldwin, so the answer would be yes. Red Oak, you cannot use it.
Red Oak? Would that be in Emmett County? Would be in the Baldwin area?
Emmett, I'm almost sure. I'd have to defer, but
I think that's right. You can't use crossbows in
in Red Oak.
Yeah,
Red Oak, you
which
can't
is
use
clearly
crossbows.
defined.
Archery
Take
only.
yourself a look at the bear guide and figure out where red oak is in your
yeah,
game.
exactly. And that'll be, I can't give you anything definitive on that. It depends on where it falls, where it falls in there. If it's a red oak, can't do it though. Okay, camper and camps in state parks. People from Fife Lake say the reservation system has changed. It's impossible to get a reservation. Doesn't show pull-through site sizes. Are we going to fix that? Dave, can I send this with you to give to the parks folks?
Sure, yeah, I'll take that one. But I know we just went online and reserved some sites up in UP. And
Oh, you and Donna did?
Yeah, we did. We're going to take a vacation this year up there with the whole family, in fact. But I know we went online, or Donnie went online, and got reservations, and we were looking at the sites, and they gave you the sites that were, pull-throughs or that. So I'll take that one with me and make sure that I have somebody from Parks get back to these folks.
Okay. A question here. It's a Lake St. Clair question, Mark, but and I know you don't represent that area of fisheries, but I know you grew up there.
I did.
So, okay. What can we do to encourage fishermen on Lake St. Clair, folks from Royal Oak want to know, to use barbless hooks during the catch and release stuff?
Well, at this point, there is no barbless hook regulation down there, and depending on the fishery, I'm guessing they're thinking about bass fishing. Typically, there's not a lot of lethal injuries even from barbed hooks during preseason bass fishing. So I don't know that it's a huge problem. So I guess I wouldn't that wouldn't be a major issue to me.
Okay, and you see a lot of fish. Hey, we got to get to this. This past winter has been just the devil's own day on wildlife. Russ, what you reading on it? The folks from Gregory want to know down in southern Michigan.
It's the most severe winter we've had in 25 years. There's no doubt that there have been major impacts on the deer herd in the UP, also turkeys in the UP. Northern lower, we've seen starvation. We've even seen starvation of deer in Shiawassee County, down into the southern part of the state. Not many, but some. Turkey populations in southern Michigan are looking a little better than we figured that they would look. But we anticipate that there are going to be some issues, so there are going to be reductions in the areas that we recommend open for antlerless licenses across the UP. Not that there were that many open in the first place. And probably some changes elsewhere in the state in terms of hunting regulations. But the other side of this is it's a good wake-up call for all of us to think about how we can do more, both ourselves and the public, through these habitat grants, to do more habitat work, to put that on the ground for deer. Because in the UP, it's important to remember, hunters kill a couple of deer. It's winter that kills deer, and it does it, and it's always done it, always will do it. In order to survive, we've got to provide those resources both on public land and on private land up there.
You were saying that fawns in a good year in the UP, 40% of them will go down?
In a average year, you have
Average
about
winter.
40% fawn mortality. This winter, I would be surprised if we didn't see close to 100% fawn mortality in the UP.
And basically from having just the roughest winter in history, and one of the roughest in history, and from having a lot of deer.
That's it. And again, wolves may take a couple, coyotes may take a couple. They do. That's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
But it's cold and snow and long winters that last into the spring that kill them.
Yeah, I've done so many deer yard stories over the years on Michigan Outdoors. It's a grim thing, but it's reality. And when you have too many deer many times and too little feed out there, but that is what happens. Does the DNR still tag walleye in the jaw? Folks from Morley want to know.
Yeah, we do still do that. I don't know what specific lakes we're doing this spring. We're not doing any in my area. But yeah, that is a tool we use. And we urge anglers, if they catch a tagged walleye or any tagged fish, There is you can go on our website and you can report your tag right online. You could keep the tag. I know that's important to a lot of folks, kind of a souvenir. But you can go right online and get that very important information to us. We use that information to help manage fish populations, so we urge all anglers to report that.
Yeah, you don't tag it just for the heck of it. It
No.
really does help. To
Absolutely.
see rates of return and.
For walleye, it's what allows us to establish what we call population estimates. So where we can say there are so many walleye in Mullet Lake, or whatever lake we're surveying.
Hey, one of my favorite towns, Pontiac. Folks want to know if a convicted felon can still use a bow for hunting. Depends, doesn't it?
Well, that's going to depend on what the felony that they were convicted for. What we recommend or we direct people to do, if they have that question, contact the court for where you were convicted and ask the prosecutor's office what your conviction was. I have seen it where they are not allowed to have a firearm. I've also seen it where they weren't allowed to have any type of weapon. We'll sell them a license, but whether or not they can exercise their privilege to use that license is going to depend on what they were convicted for.
Hey, let me take this next one myself, will you?
Sure.
Okay. This is from Elmira. How do we claim that license prices haven't gone up when doe permits have gone from $3 to $15 over the years? This is from Elmira. Well, let me tell you, I sat on the Natural Resources Commission. We were authorized to charge $15 for those licenses back when they were $3, and the DNR didn't do it. The DNR held them at $3, even though they could have been $15 back then. It certainly over the years, as the cost of things went up, the cost of gas, cost of moving biologists around, cost of doing business went up. We raised, and the cost of administering those licenses went up. We authorized the DNR to start charging more for them. They were $5 for a long time. Then they went to $10, and we hated like the dickens to keep moving them up because many times we wanted people to shoot those antlerless deer and encourage them to get the licenses. But it was the legislature had told DNR they could charge $15 right from the start, and they didn't do that. So I just want to kind of set the record straight on that. Rochester Hills, do local ordinances supersede state laws?
Not exactly sure what they mean by that, but
I think I know what they mean.
Not on fish and game laws. I think what it may be is a local hunting control ordinance. Maybe that's what they're talking about. And there's a process to go through for municipalities that they can get an ordinance to ban hunting in a certain area. But they can't just do it on their own. It has to come through the department. Other than that, they can't come in and supersede a game law, let's say, or a fishing law by saying that, they change the size of them or not. That is set by the state.
Yeah.
But they could just do an anti-discharge ordinance.
That they could do.
That's one way that some folks get around it.
Okay, they can say no fire.
But that would have to be within their incorporated boundaries of their municipality.
Okay, Oscoda, corn feeders put out on public land, I guess the spin cast feeders. Why don't we require people to put an ID on them like we do blinds? Not a bad idea.
But it's not a bad idea. We don't do that right now. Typically, they will be close to a hunting location, and the blind, whether it's a tree stand or the ground blind, has to have the name and address on it. But it's not a bad idea.
No, folks from Clam Lake Township. I'll get to this question. We got a good Facebook one coming up here. Clam Lake Township. It's Clam Lake Township I used to live in. I don't really totally understand the question. Why are you allowed only one turkey license in the spring but multiple ones in the fall? In fall, you're trying to reduce turkey populations. That's the reason for the fall hunt. Clam Lake Township in Wexford County hasn't had a fall hunt in many, many years.
Right.
But anyway, where in the spring you're trying to get people to, it's a different sort of hunt.
It's completely different. And, fall is any turkey, spring is just gobblers and so forth. So that it's an entirely different purpose, like you point out.
Okay. Husband bought a fishing license this week, this Facebook question. Tried to buy the rest of the licenses and couldn't. When will they be available? They should have been available then.
They should. They're available now, so that may have been just a one vendor
having
issue
a problem with a computer or something.
But they're available. All of them are available right now.
Well, they got to be because I bought back in March. I bought all of mine. They've got to be. So anyway, there must have been a vendor problem there because you can buy them all right now. When you collect the eggs from walleye in the Big Muskegon, folks from Morley want to know this, where do the young fish get planted? And actually all over the Lower Peninsula, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, as of right now, the Muskegon River is the only place that we're doing egg take in the Lower Peninsula. Those walleye, after we take the eggs, they go to Wolf Lake Fish Hatchery in down near Kalamazoo, and they're hatched out there. And then from there, we distribute them to ponds all over the Lower Peninsula. And our fisheries technicians and some co-op groups of private citizens raise those walleyes, and then we stock them all over the Lower Peninsula. So all over the Lower
It's one
Peninsula.
of those great cooperative efforts. You know, if we could, we do a lot of that in wildlife too, but all of that works out. And then everybody has ownership.
Mason County Walleye Association is the group that I work with, and they do a phenomenal job. And without them, boy, we'd be hurting.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next part of the question that folks from Morley want to know, why can Native Americans, I don't understand this completely, maybe you can help me, Mark. Why can Native Americans keep walleye when the rest of us cannot?
Sometimes the tribes have different fish and game laws than we do. Again, inland we have a 2007 consent decree that outlines a lot of what they can and can't do. And in some instances, they can keep walleye when a state licensed angler could not.
And they have every right to do that under the law.
That is correct.
Under the law. This is not DNR making something up. It's under the law. So, Mark, could you help us with this one too? Folks wondering around this neck of the woods, wonder what's going on with steelhead planting in Isabella County. Do you know anything about that?
A little bit, just because I have actually caught steelhead out of the Chippewa River. I think they're probably referring to the Chippewa, which is one of the main rivers in Isabella County. It's can be a pretty darn good steelhead stream. In fact, I'm sure they're in there right now. But yeah, it's regularly stocked by us, and it's pretty good steelhead run, pretty good fishery.
What in Lake County? What are the rules for feeding deer on this 40 acres after deer season? The only place you can really feed is for viewing purposes, right?
It's for recreational viewing, and it has to be within 100 yards of your residence. And it has to be the same restrictions that you would bait, no more than 2 gallons at any one given time, and spread out a minimum 10 by 10 area, 10 by 10 square foot area.
Okay, Houghton Lake, how big does turkey population need to get to where we don't need a lottery? Well, we really don't have one much in southern Michigan, do we?
In southern Michigan or places like Beaver Island, no, it's pretty much an over-the-counter deal. There are other places where turkey populations are more affected by weather, the northern Lower Peninsula being one of those places, and as a consequence, we continue to look at that. That said, we are the 7th highest turkey state in the nation. And we are moving in a direction where turkeys are becoming more abundant. That could someday be something that folks would have available to them, provided also that our partners, which is to say the turkey hunters, figure that's a good idea.
Yeah, and most of the state of Michigan is under kind of not really a permit system. It's pretty wide open. How do you address a trespasser or identify a trespasser to COs or police? How do you go about reporting them? Folks from Manistee want to know.
Basically, Bob, if you have somebody that's trespassing on your property, okay, it's up to the landowner to police their own property. But we said earlier in the show, if they want to prosecute for trespassing, they can contact our RAP line. Is the quickest way to get a hold of an officer. Get information. Description of the people, what kind of clothes they're wearing. Almost everybody now has got a camera on them with their phones. Take some pictures, license plate numbers, vehicle descriptions and that. Direction of travel if they leave. Get all the information they can to be able to give it to the officer to be able to follow up on.
Okay, it just passed up a question because we talked about cougars, about somebody who regularly sees 7 or 8 collared cougars in some area of the state. Get a camera out.
Absolutely.
Get a camera, find those tracks. Get a hold. There's a website, or you can get a hold of DNR's website, and there's a cougar reporting system right on there. Rochester Hills. Guy wants to know: can you hunt ducks 600 yards off the shore from Grosse Pointe Farms on Lake St. Clair? I don't know why you couldn't.
I see no reason why you can't, but I'm not familiar with that area.
Yeah.
I would suggest that they contact the Southfield Operations Service Center. That's
Talk to a CO there?
Talk to the CO there because, again, I don't want to say anything because I'm not familiar with, I don't see why they couldn't be able to, but contact our Operations Service Center and get a hold of the officer there, and they'll have that site-specific information for them.
Okay, and folks, just to let you know, the pressure DNR gets sometimes the other way. When you think they might be giving out too many landowner or too many crop damage tags, that sort of stuff. Here's the Sega Straits Area Crop Growers Association in Emmett County. They want a simpler permit system to get rid of critters causing damage to vineyards. Deer do that, don't they?
Deer can be a real problem for folks. And in fact, we
Birds?
are moving to a simpler system with regard to deer, where repeat customers, so to speak, will have an expedited process, take just 1 to 2 days. New customers, so to speak, well, that may take a little bit longer because it's going to require a site visit. We're sympathetic, we understand, and we're just trying to balance those 58,000 agriculturalists in the state against the 730,000 deer hunters, trying to come up with a balance that tries to optimize what everybody thinks is the best solution.
Yeah, but their job is not to make everybody happy.
As it turns out, I don't make anybody happy. So,
well, it makes me happy that you're here tonight, Russ.
well,
I'll
that's
tell you
one. That's my first today.
Hey, folks from Marion Springs, where's the money go for the hunting and fishing violations, Dean?
Well, the fines and costs, let's start at fishing game, okay? There's a $10 conservation fee. All right, that comes back to the department. Fines and court costs go back to the court system. And so a lot of fines go back to the library system and the judge of retirement. Where we get money out of it is on restitution. So that's why kind of with that trespass and the trophy antler new laws that we talked about earlier, that restitution come back to the state. So if somebody says, I got a ticket for $350 and my fines and costs, make up the bulk of that, if it's let's say a hunting without a license or whatever, we're only getting $10 of that back to our department. The rest goes into the court system.
Okay, and the legislature determines that.
Absolutely. Again, the restitution.
legislature determines that, not the DNR.
Exactly, and the restitution comes back to us, but not the fines and costs.
The bulk of it, right.
Right.
Folks from Newberry, I like this question, Russ. I like this question a lot. Will we ever see the deer regulations to be different than the rest of the state because of regions or winters? They are different because
They are different. We recognize that the UP is a categorically different place, and that's one of the reasons we moved to a regional structure. They're very different things. We have, by the way, regional deer advisory teams to tune things in that way, and I'm thinking people are seeing that at least a little bit. I invite them to get involved with their regional deer advisory team.
Exactly, and you have those advisory teams, and it's easy to get involved, right?
Yep.
Okay. All horseback riders, are they allowed to ride on game trails in Michigan? I mean, I think they're talking fish and game land. People from Emmett County want to know.
Well, it has to be unrecognized trails. I think what they're talking about, can they go cross-country? The answer is no. And on our game areas, there's closed to equestrian travel also.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. We got another Facebook question I want to do, but this one is a good. This is one you don't see from Macomb County. Okay, right down in that Flint neck of the woods. Yeah. You grew up there, Mark.
Yep.
Okay. What does the term 10 in possession mean?
10
Possession
in possession?
term. Yeah. In possession, I think, is what they're talking about. They're reading you can possess 10 of something.
Well, I think probably what they're referring to, Bob, is just that if you have whatever your possession limit is, depending on the species that you have, if it is 10, you have 10 in your possession, that's all you can possess.
That's the possession limit, as opposed to the daily limit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, it just means if you're allowed, 10 perch. I don't know where that's. That's in possession limit, 5 a day. 10 in possession. 10's the most you can have. Okay. Folks want to know if why don't we start an early bear baiting season so they won't get into bird feeders and cornfields? I think they'll still get into those things, though.
Actually, this is the time of year when bears are a bigger deal. The other thing is, bird feeders and trash cans are pretty much everywhere. Bear baits are just here and there on the landscape. That's not likely to be a real successful strategy.
Okay, we only got a couple minutes to go. A Facebook question. What licenses and tags will a child get in a mentor package this year?
Same as last year. They're going to get their trapping, trapping only, not fur bearers, but trapping. They'll get their one deer tag. They're going to get their small game license, and they're going to get their turkey tags.
Okay, Mark.
And their fishing.
Okay, we're in the lightning round right now, okay? We consider raising the panfish limits. Folks from Alma want to know.
We have not. We're pretty, most anglers are pretty happy with 25 panfish a day, and there hasn't been really any movement to increase that.
Okay, Mark, now also give me a rundown real quick. Where are we at with the carp situation, the invasive carp situation?
Asian carp, the scary ones, the big head and the silver carp, still have not been documented in Michigan waters, nor have they been documented recently in Lake Michigan, even over by Chicago or Indiana. So we're kind of at a standstill at this point. No big movement so far. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it stays that way.
Okay, no news is pretty well good news. Okay, now we're just about ready to call it quits. A quick outlook on Lake Huron fishing.
Lake Huron, we're going to be paying real close attention this year. The last couple years we have stocked more Atlantic salmon, and we're expecting some returns from those this year. So Lake Huron outlook could be pretty good for those stocked Atlantic salmon.
Okay, folks, I'd like to thank Dean, Mark, Russ. Thank you much for being here. Also, want to thank Sue Sabisky and Dave Hopp, Derek Tonello, and Jordan Drack for just a fine job of putting this thing together. Also, I'd like to thank Matt Ozanich, who's in the back directing this, and of course Stephanie Mills for making this all possible. I would like to remind you that next week is the last in the series of Ask the Specialists for this season, and it will be Ask the Gardeners. Now that's not my family, but the gardeners. Ask the gardeners about growing things. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'd like you to go ahead and make plans to join us in October when we'll be back for another edition of Ask the DNR.